Hello, 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 welcome back. It's Yaro. We're not in the studio, we're here outside soaking in this nice bit of weather before it gets cold. Welcome September. Hey, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Talk a lot about real estate. Today we're going to be talking about how the war, elections, and masking up might affect your reasoning for buying or selling your home. Okay. Also going to be talking about local market analysis, what's going on, and talking to you about the data. So let's get right into it. First up, the war. You've probably seen some of those headlines with the drones crashing in Romania, Ukraine blaming Russia, Russia blaming Ukraine. It's a little mess. Do we really know what happened? Probably not, but that's okay, because we probably won't know unless you're actually talking to the locals of the locals of the locals, which is crazy because very few of us have access to people on the ground, and those who do, we're getting some mixed messages. It's confusing, I know. And us being here in America, we're even less educated about that because you can't trust CNN. And another thing we recently heard about was the jet crash from Yevgeny Prigozhin. So speculation of Putin pretty much killing him off for talking against him. He was kind of trying to do a rebellion. There's a lot of things going on, as well as the casualty amounts from both the Russian side and Ukrainian side. A lot of data supporting a lot more have died from the Ukraine side than Russia. Then you have, again, a lot of these other news outlets that are saying the opposite. Do we really know? No, but it sucks because a lot of people have died in this war from people who have they have no blood in the game, per se. They're just playing these pawns, and they don't care for people like you and I. The threat here would be that America gets involved, right? Will America get involved? We don't know. That's a little too far out to say for now. Watching the situation closely, I'm sure you are. And the war definitely has an impact on real estate. You might be like saying, why do you even care to even bring that up into perspective? Well, because whatever happens overseas is now global. We're sending money to Ukraine. Our economy is struggling, and all those things have an impact in the real estate market as well. We've talked about China and their economy. Their economy has a direct impact on our economy. So you got to watch the global economics. You got to follow the money. You got to follow all these numbers so you know what's happening here. So mention the war there. Let's talk about elections. Yeah, I know. You're already thinking you're either a Biden supporter or a Biden hater. You're one or the other. You cannot be either. You don't even have to support Trump. Okay, like I don't care who you support. Just don't support Biden, who's really crushed our economy. Okay, my video will probably not even get views for that now because I've mentioned his name in a negative way. But honestly, elections have an impact on the real estate market. You might ask how? Well, when we're looking at stats on what happens to rates in correlation of an election year, which is next year, we do see things are always the same. And the thing that's always the same are rates kind of go down. Why? Well, because the current administration wants to get reelected, so they want to show the economy is doing well. Now, it's super easy to lie about that these days. Like, they can just publish a report and it looks great, but really we're struggling. Oh, kind of like we are now, yeah. Welcome to 2023 and 2024 election year in real estate. Not going to be fun. Okay. So, usually the rates do come down a little bit as they do want to get reelected, and that's just the way it is. I expect it to be very volatile, just like it is now. Maybe it will jump up and down. I don't see us going back to fives just because it's an election year and then it jumps back up. You just got to watch a lot of different things that are going on right now. But that's what usually happens with the elections. Let's talk about the third thing I mentioned, which is masking up. I know, ridiculous. I know, stupid. We've been there, we've done that, we've learned, but a lot of people haven't learned. And if you look at what Fauci just said, Fauci said, I hope that people don't feel like we're forcing them into this and that people will have a choice. That's what he said last time. Actually, last time he said masks don't even work. Yet, locked up the whole country, took a bunch of jobs, killed and crushed the middle class, and here we are 3 years later, going back to masking up. Why weren't we masking up for decades before? From the flu and the common cold. It's ridiculous. We've been there. Let's get over it. I can go on a whole speech on this. It's just ridiculous. But I know you're feeling the same thing. I know you've been there. We've all struggled through it together. And we're not doing this again, okay? Like, I encourage you to stand your ground and stand for your business and your family and your organizations, because we're in America. And when freedoms are under attack, so is everything else. So watch out for that. I know you've already seen some headlines with the stupid mask things coming back. Not forcing anyone.
I'm concerned that people will not abide by recommendations. And we're not talking about mandates or forcing anybody, but when...
That's exactly what he said, not forcing anyone. Anyways, you're probably saying, Yaro, come on, give me some stats from the experts. And usually I do come up with some things that experts are saying, but the further along this year has gone, the more I'm convinced that the experts aren't experts. The people that say, we're the experts in the economy, are actually the non-experts. They're actually the people who are just playing the strings like puppets, okay? So, yes, you do have to read that and take it into consideration, but a lot of what experts are saying are actually just lies. You start tracking what they say, and they contradict each other. They contradict themselves. Like, honestly, they'll say, jobs report, positive, this is great for the economy, we're recovering. And then a week later, they publish something else, say, actually, no, we're doing horrible. We can't battle inflation. Rates have to go up to battle inflation. It just keeps going back and up and down. This is a roller coaster ride. Like, that's if this year has been a proof that real estate is a roller coaster, because honestly, like, just things get published and it goes up and down. So I'm not going to share much about what experts are saying. Some experts are saying that rates are going to go down to 5 by 2024, which I don't expect. And some experts are saying rates are going to hit 9s. Okay, like, who do you listen to? The bottom line is this: if you have to buy a house and the renting situation doesn't work for you, buy a house. If you can afford it, you both work and you have a great income and you have a safety net and you have a plan B and you have a plan C maybe, buy a house. Who cares if you overpaid for it? I overpaid for my truck. Why? Because I wanted it. I don't care if I can get I don't care if I can save 10 grand on a truck this year versus last year, because I used it. I've driven 30,000 miles with this truck over the last year. You're like, what? Anyways, if you follow my travel channel, you know. But I put usage in the item that I am buying, and I'm okay on purchasing it for more than someone else might be buying it for now. So don't time the market. If you need to buy a house, buy a house. Maybe if it's your starter house, okay. If you're trying to make a quick profit off it and sell it in 2 years, yeah, don't buy a house. Don't buy a house, because you're going to wreck yourself. It's going to be bad. So look at the reason you're buying. If you're buying a house because you need to move your family into a home and you're trying to, start a family, or you're trying to, put down roots, it doesn't matter what you're paying for it. Now, it only matters if you're trying to sell it within a few years and make your money back, okay? Economy's going to ride up and down. Overall, home prices go up on a trajectory, even if they go down. So as long as you're not planning to sell, I would even say now in the next 5 years, you should be okay. That being said, if you're trying to sell your house, you're like, well, I'm not getting multiple offers. Well, yeah, we're not in 2021, guys. 2023, 2024, right around the corner. Last quarter, quarter 3, 4 is right here. I mean, we're wrapping up this last third quarter and going into fourth. I feel like we're already in like almost winter time. It's like fall, winter, like that quick transition. But I just wanted to say that as well, because experts can say whatever they want. The data can say whatever they want. But if you wait forever and never buy because you're trying to time the market, you're also going to wreck yourself. Okay. Last piece, which is the most important piece in my opinion, local data. I want to be looking at this data with you live as I'm recording this. We're going to look at average sale price since January, and I'll reveal what's going on last month, because it's September 4th now, and the 1st we got new data. So what is going on in Pierce County? And if you live in a different county, reach out to me. I'll get you the stats in your county, in your zip code, in your area code, in your street, in your house, okay? So let me know if you want other information. But residential, Pierce County, sales price, average, sitting around right around $593,418, so $593,000. And if we're looking at that as a, where have we been since, like I've been telling you guys every video, since January. In January, we were at 615, 664. So if I'm doing this math correctly, we are over 20 grand in growth in average sale price decrease. I don't know. You got to watch the stats, but I'm just saying the average sale price in Pierce County is going down. Now, if I looked at a place I was doing an open house last week at in Lakewood, Tacoma Lakewood, it just went up a little bit. Very little, about 2 grand, but it did go up. Average sale price did go up there. But on a more of a large scale, we're seeing that prices have decreased in the last 9 months. What about homes for sale and new listings? Also down 22%. New listings down 29%, and this has been going down since June. June 2022 is when we started seeing a pivotal moment of less homes for sale. And so that's why you're seeing homes still sell fairly quick. We're going to talk about days on market in a second, but it's taking a while to sell. We're going to talk about that. However, it's still selling because new listings are on a decline, which means you have less to choose from, which means obviously you got to choose one or the other, and therefore things are still selling. If inventory was still high, we would have seen a different picture, but inventory is low, and that is a problem for buyers. However, when we're looking at days on market, we are now at 35 days on your average days on market. That feels good. It's not healthy. I would probably say 2 months is like 30 days to 60 days is healthy. That's what things used to be. If you just start looking at homes recently or in the last 5 years, you're like, what? Yeah, homes didn't always sell in 2 days or 1 day or 1 hour. Things used to take about a month or 2 or 3 to sell. So we're getting back to a healthy level of days on market. If you're a buyer, that is in your favor. As homes sit on the market longer, you have more negotiating power, especially if the seller needs to sell for a specific reason and needs to sell quicker. That's why you hire an agent. If you're a buyer, you pay $0 to have a professional agent telling you, negotiating for you, calling and finding out all these details from the other side. So just in case you didn't know, you don't pay a buyer's agent anything. We get paid by a seller. So always good. Use a professional. Don't try to do it yourself. There's no point, okay? If you're a seller, it does matter who you hire, because the marketing that they do will either sell your home for more or less. I have a whole spiel on that. I'll do a separate video on that, but don't just go on Redfin and you feel good because they're charging you 1%, but you didn't read the fine print and you're actually getting wrecked. Okay. That's Pierce County. I mean, if this was a live sesh, we would be doing like zip codes. But let's do Tacoma. Let's do Tacoma here and see what Tacoma is doing. Average sale price also decline. We saw a little increase in February, and then it has been going down since February. We're sitting at $511,000 at an average sale price. Lakewood. I almost said Lake Hood. I know. There are bad areas in every city, okay? Tacoma, Lakewood, Graham, there are always pockets, okay? Okay, Lakewood, like I said, this month we saw an increase in average sale price, about $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, yeah. So Lakewood went up in average sale price a little bit. There's actually some pretty cool listings in Lakewood that came out recently. But otherwise, we've seen also a decline since February, down from 545, down to 430, 533. So that's where we're at in Lakewood. Days on market is going to be very similar, 34 days. And new listings, I would expect that to be a little up and or stagnant. Let's see. Yep. So just a little decrease, very tiny. We're going from 719 to 717 homes. So two less homes of new listings. And so yeah, there's let's look at Pierce County and let's look at our month supply. I love looking at month supply. 1.8. So we are at about a 1.8 month of inventory. If no other new listings hit the market right now, we have 1.8 worth of inventory. I remember when it was 3 weeks of inventory. I'm happy we're not there anymore. Buyers are having a chance to negotiate. You have a chance to negotiate not only your closing costs, but also to buy down your rate. It's still a sweet time to buy if you need to buy. Not on every home. You gotta make sure your agent is doing those numbers and doing those cross-analysis market reports for you, and also making those calls. And if you need something off market, let me know. I have a few people that I'm connected with that either have things off market or coming up that I can get you in touch with. And who knows, maybe you'll buy off market, maybe you buy on market, but those are some sweet properties. One of them I shot the pictures for media for. It went for, under contract within, I think, 5 days, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not looking at that right now, but there's still an opportunity. I'm not saying it's not an opportunity for everybody, but what I am saying is you got to look at the numbers, you got to look at the global scale, and so far rates don't look like they're going to come down anytime soon, and everything else is live and learn, live and see kind of situation right now. So that being said, thanks for watching. Share this with a friend that might find it useful. Thanks for following and watching my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.
But to every COVID tyrant who wants to take away our freedom, hear these words: we will not comply. So don't even think about it. We will not shut down our schools. We will not accept your lockdowns. We will not abide by your mask mandates. And we will not tolerate your vaccine mandates.